Okay, letter book for today. Oh, we're so close to the end of the alphabet. We're at W already. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because the other ones are missing. That's why we're here already. Forgot to say. I don't know where the rest of the books are. Willy Worm. Willy Worm wanders all around. Willy likes to wink and wave and wiggle on the ground. Willy Worm, Willy pulls some wood. Willy pulls a watermelon, it will taste so good. Yeah, there's just some missing. I don't know where they are. So we're at W already. Oh, a worm story. Worm's Wagon by Samantha Berger and illustrated by Matt Phillips. One day, Worm went to the woods to gather walnuts. He brought his wagon with him. On his way home, Worm saw a woodpecker whistling in a weeping willow. Woodpecker asked Worm for a ride. Worm wiggled along, pulling Woodpecker in his wagon. Soon they came upon Weasel eating watermelon. Weasel asked Worm for a ride. I wonder, will he say yes? Worm wiggled along, pulling Woodpecker and Weasel in his wagon. Before long, they bumped into Wombat wearing her new wig. Wombat asked Worm for a ride. His smile is getting a little bit smaller there. Worm wiggled along, pulling Woodpecker, Weasel, and Wombat in his wagon. Next they met Wolf on his way to work. Wolf asked Worm for a ride. I wonder if he will say yes to everyone. Worm wiggled along, pulling Woodpecker, Weasel, Wombat, and Wolf in his wagon. Soon they saw Walrus winking and waving. Walrus asked Worm, for a ride. Worm wiggled along, pulling Woodpecker, Weasel, Wombat, Wolf, and Walrus in his wagon. Up ahead they saw a whale playing in the water. Whale asked Worm for a ride. Ooh, honey. Worm wiggled with all his might. Oh, look at him, he's trying so hard. Trying to pull Woodpecker, Weasel, Wombat, Wolf, Walrus, and Whale in the wagon. But the wagon would not move. The wheels started to wobble. Wham! The weight was too much for the wagon. It crashed to the ground. Oh no, my wagon, Worm wailed. He was too helpful to everyone. Don't worry, Worm, the animal said. Worm's friends worked on the wagon all afternoon. Oh, good. They're helping. When the wagon was fixed, Worm wiggled into it. Then Wombat, Weasel, Wolf, Woodpecker, Walrus, and Whale pulled Worm all the way home. And weary Worm had a wonderful ride. Friends helping friends. Okay. Taking a look at that picture at the back. That shows those details that start with the letter W. And here's the W cheer. W is for worm and a wagon to pull. W is for wig, whale, wave, and wool. W is for watermelon, juicy and sweet. W is for walnuts, waffles, and wheat. Hooray for W, big and small, the wildest, wackiest letter of all. Taking a look right there at the details. Fun!